Good morning. It's Friday, March 14th, 2025, and this is Travis Dean Storms giving you a storm update for the impending severe weather event that is going to unfold this afternoon, this evening here in central Iowa. Let's get to it. Here we have is the projected path or reflectivity, what the radar is going to look like. And it looks like these storms are going to form starting around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and they'll be moving southwest to northeast at a pretty rapid clip. Today's biggest threat is going to be a wind event, and the risk is pretty high in regards to the wind event that is going to happen. The current thinking from the Storm Prediction Center is that these storms are going to mix any mid-level high winds that are going to be up there that are screaming, and they're screaming about 100 knots. And they're going to be able to be mixed down to the surface. And when that happens, widespread wind damage will occur. Wind gusts in excess of 65 knots, 70 miles an hour, maybe even approaching 80, plus higher gusts. Our potential is there. Now, to a lesser degree, so because of that, the Storm Prediction Center has increased the risk level for central Iowa. And they have expanded the wind threat further north and west, which then expands the moderate risk area. So Des Moines to about Atlantic, to Des Moines, to Cedar Rapids, to the Quad Cities. Basically the southern half of Iowa is under a moderate risk. Surrounding that is a enhanced risk. And for the north, that is a slight risk. This risk area, again, was expanded overnight with the 2 a.m. update just a few moments ago to include the Des Moines metro area. And that is because the wind threat has expanded. Here is the wind threat for the Des Moines metro area. Remember yesterday that was confined over here to Illinois and Missouri? Well, that has now gone north and west. And now it's in a hatched area, which it was yesterday. But again, a 10% or greater, actually they're saying 45% or greater chance of seeing a storm with a wind gust of 65 knots, 70 miles an hour, to 80 miles an hour today. So that threat is very real today. So that's why we have an increase in the threat level. To a lesser extent, tornadoes are a risk today, but the tornado risk for Iowa has expanded a little bit more out to now to include eastern Nebraska. But again, as these storms develop on the front edge of that line, spin-up tornadoes are very probable, and those are going to be very hard tornadoes to find and very hard tornadoes to chase. So today's chase is basically going to be focused on just the windstorm or the storm itself, the entire storm as a whole, and the wind gusts that it may create. To a lesser extent, hail is a threat today, but that hail threat has not changed since yesterday. So we have a 15% chance of seeing 1-inch hail or more. But again, the biggest threat today is going to be the high winds and wind damage that will come and be associated with that, basically on the southern half of Iowa, from about Ames to Cedar Rapids to, I would just say the southern half. That Highway 30 corridor is going to be the cutoff. Anything south of the Highway 30 corridor has the potential to see a significant windstorm and wind damage event. Of note was one model that I found, one model product and one product within that model. These are the rotating updrafts that the model has picked up will be in the storms. And as you can see over Iowa, there is we got these tracks, and each one of these tracks is a potential to be a tornado in a tornado track. So this kind of gives you an example of what is possible and probable today. Now it's not, we don't have these type of tracks. This track here is a very significant track. That's a long track tornado down in central Missouri, and there's a couple of these through Illinois and through Missouri. Those guys have the highest risk for tornadoes out there today, and because they're going to have more moisture, more deep level moisture than what we're going to have here in Iowa. So here's just what it looks like in regards to what those rotating updrafts are going to look like. So I'm not saying that each one of these tracks is an exact track of where a tornado will be, but it gives you an idea of the spin-ups that are going to happen on the front edge of that storm as these storms go up. This is we'll show you reflectivity here a little bit. This track here is actually based on a supercell that this model has predicted or believes is going to form in southwest Iowa, move to the northeast, and that's going to be ahead of the main line. So that's going to be an interesting one to watch. So moisture today is going to be limited, at least in the lower levels for here in central Iowa. Right now, it looks like the maximum moisture level is going to be in the below 55, and we need to have a dew point of 55 or greater in order for tornado risk, large tornado risk, to be realized. That's not going to be the case today. But with that said, even though that's a marginal value, the as strong as this low pressure center is, and as much shear is going to be available here, as you can see, this is a dry line that's going to punch through that moisture and lift up all that moisture. As powerful as that is, and as close as we are to the low pressure center, I can't rule out a significant tornado here in central Iowa or eastern Iowa. One or two significant tornadoes, whether they're short track or long track, I can't say, but that forcing is so strong it can overcome the deficient low level moisture that's there and still produce a pretty decent tornado. So that's why we have the 5% risk. The 5% risk is because the low pressure center is coming through. We're so close to it, but that's 5% because of the dew point. So that's the secondary threat today. The third threat is going to be hail, but 1 inch or larger hail, we're probably not going to see that. So here is the projected path of the storms, and there's that supercell that develops about 2 o'clock and moves from southwest to northeast. Let me slow this down just a little bit. So this is the projected storm path. So this is going to be, if you're watching southwest Iowa here, you're going to see, or there it is right there. That's where that supercell is going to develop, go north and west, and then here comes the main line right after it. And that's going to be about 4 o'clock. That line's going to develop back here. Now on the back side, there's going to be snow. The blue is snow, and the pink that you see, the bright pink you saw, was ice. So that's going to be up here in the Dakotas. They're going to deal with the snow and blizzard event. But here we're going to deal with the severe weather event. But watch here, that's going to be about 2 o'clock. We're going to watch this storm develop here and go up. And then here comes the line as the low pressure center comes through. So there you have it. That's today's morning's update on the weather, severe weather event that's going to unfold on March 14th, Friday, March 14th, 2025. As always, make sure that you have a plan in place. There's no need to be scared. Please don't be scared. Be prepared. Have a plan in place. Have the ability to receive warnings from multiple sources besides your cell phone. So whether that's broadcast media, a weather radio, make sure you have all that ready to go. This is Travis with Travestine Storms. Wishing you guys all well and wishing you guys a safe journey through these storms. I'll be out chasing today, so you can see me on Facebook Live this afternoon. Anyway, take care, be safe, and make sure you hit the like and subscribe. I get to 50 subscribers here on YouTube. I don't have to, I can live stream from YouTube versus Facebook, which is what I like to do here in the near future. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Be safe, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.